Hello, my name is Brian Oski.
And I'm Austin Morales, and you're watching The Inner Gamer On.
Today we're talking about Skull and Bones. Will it dethrone Sea of Thieves as the next big pirate open world extravaganza, or will it fall on the wayside and request a life raft, or crash and burn, or get eaten by
the Kraken?
Thank you. Yes, you read my mind. Eaten by the Kraken. Let's get cracking and start this podcast.
And as always, if you enjoy this content, please like, subscribe, bang that bell, because it really helps more than you know, and we appreciate all your continued support. So just go ahead and do that. Give it a little bang.
Use your phone. It is time for our topic of the show. This week we are talking about, will Skull and Bones, the new pirate game from Ubisoft, be able to dethrone Sea of Thieves?
Shouldn't be too hard.
I know.
At this point,
hard,
like, I don't know what the player base is over there.
Man, I don't know either, actually. I mean, Sea of Thieves I know is still doing pretty good. I mean, they've been bringing out new content updates for it, and everything's been moving along really nice, and it's pretty cool. Like, we played a lot of Sea of Thieves, had a blast with it, but looking at Skull and Bones, so they just had, the reason why I want to talk about this is they did announce that it's coming out later this year. So it's going to be coming out in, I should have it memorized on top of my head what the date was. Was it October? It was October. It's releasing on, anyway. So Skull and Bones, I'll tell you in a second. Skull and Bones is, they released a new gameplay video as well as like a story trailer. So with that, you're basically gonna be this like pirate who like gets like shipwrecked or whatever and comes onto this island and can like get this little tiny little dinghy boat thingy and get out on the open seas and start building up a crew and growing and expanding and fighting naval combat and exploring the world. And I was reading that originally this game was going to be a like a 5v5 deathmatch kind of thing, similar to Dreadnought that we used to play back in the day with the big ship battles up in space. But there was a lot of development hell that this game went through. And the most recent creative director kind of shifted the game to be less of a 5v5 deathmatch and more open world PvE, PvP kind of vibe. So you're able to like jump in and do like PvE stuff with up to 3 friends or up to 2 friends maybe, and roam around the world. And then you can also switch instantly to PvP, which opens you up to being able to attack other ships on the seas, the high seas. And it looks like you can go around and like November 8th also is a release date. So November 8th of this year is when it comes out. But you can upgrade your ship and craft your ship. There's like different outposts and ports you can go to where you'll be able to talk to different merchants and walk around in that world in order to like get new upgrades, get new gear, this, that, whatever. And then you get out on the open seas and drive your ship around and build your crew. And your crew can like mutiny against you if you don't like treat them right and all this stuff. And there's like ship battles that happen that look pretty interesting. And there's like environmental effects that can happen. You can like craft stuff on the side of islands and everything, but it doesn't seem like you can get off onto just any island like you can in Sea of Thieves. It's more like
you pull up to an
island and just like a tree starts chopping down when you're in your ship. It's really weird.
Yeah.
But Austin, looking at the gameplay of what you've seen so far, like, do you feel like this has any potential to like be like a Sea of Thieves, or do you think it just doesn't fit in that category? And just what was your first reaction?
Category. I am not impressed. I'm actually kind of worried about this game. I felt like, okay, I like that you're your own captain and you can get on and off the ship and you can be in third person and you can get on certain ports, I guess, and walk around. Like, that's great. I think we needed that from the beginning.
Yeah.
I also did like the idea of having a Dreadnought type thing.
Yeah.
And I think it could still work here. And I guess it's not going to be that, but like having the ability to, because in Dreadnought, you could put all your power to weapons when you're attacking. You could put all your power to shields when you need defense. And you can put, I think, your power to like maneuverability.
Yeah.
There's 3 things. I can't remember the third one. It might be maneuverability.
Yeah, I can't remember.
But this one, you could probably do similar things because like your ship catches fire, right? So you have to tell some of your guys, hey, put the fire out. So you could be like, everybody on cannons. Okay, now only half cannons and everyone on recovery, like repairing the ship or whatever, stuff like that. But I don't think that's happening here. And I think one thing that they're definitely missing, which I was hoping to see towards the end of this gameplay trailer, was you can come up alongside of a ship and everyone can start attacking each other and jump over and like, oh, I want to board the ship, so we're all going to board the ship type thing.
Well,
like,
that's what's weird is that they do have the ability, because they did mention that like if you sink the ship, then you can get some of the plunder from the ship, but a lot of it drops into sea. So you're instead have to like board the ship and take it over, but they never showed that. So I don't know if it's like
that's
you're just
interesting.
pulling up next to a ship and then you just like somehow just like steal their shit, or can you actually get off and go fight? But I haven't seen any sword combat of any kind. So
Yeah.
I feel like it's probably like just like when they showed in the video a picture of like the ship pulling up to the side of an island, and in order to craft and chop down trees, like literally like you just start staring at a tree in your ship and it's just getting chopped down for you and you're collecting resources for it. So that part like really took me away from the immersion of the whole game.
Yeah. Yeah, because, you know, originally the reason they wanted to make this game is because Assassin's Creed Black Flag ship combat was so, like, people really loved that. And they wanted to replicate that. And so somehow it morphed into the Dreadnought type stuff, which was fine. Like, I actually thought it was pretty dynamic the way they had the camera angles and stuff. Like, I really liked it. But if you go back and look at the Black Flag ship combat, it's actually very similar in ways to what we see now. But the other part is that, you know, you have this awesome, you know,
more
hand-to-hand combat. Yeah, third-person combat stuff, which made it even more dynamic. And I feel like it's really gotten away from that. And, you know, I think they're trying to figure out what they're actually doing with this.
Yeah.
And I don't know if it's going to work. I mean, obviously, I think there's going to be a group of people who really enjoy the game. But overall, I just don't know if it's what I want to play.
Yeah. It's definitely has a weird... It's like they got it like 80% there. And they just need like the extra 20% to like finish it off and get it just right. But I don't know. I mean, it's just the whole idea. It's kind of like with Sea of Thieves. You know, in Sea of Thieves, there was a point when we first started playing the game where it got very repetitive of like, okay, well, I'm going to an island. I'm fighting like the same skeleton type. I'm collecting a treasure and I'm taking it in. I'm getting money. And that money lets me eventually unlock some cosmetics. But like the loop was the exact same thing. There wasn't any diversity to that. Then they started adding in like story bits and things of that nature. And then they added the PvP, which is really cool. But in this one, what I see currently is that it's the same kind of grind, except you're not able to get off your boat. You're not able to go explore islands. You're on the water and you just craft things from the edge, but you're not actually doing any kind of like the exploration can only do so much on the on sea.
Yeah.
It's an open world. It's an open sea environment. So it's like not like I'm going to be like, oh, look at that badass you know, outpost in the distance, and I can get off and just like go explore it and loot it or whatever. It's more going to be like, oh, I see that badass outpost in the distance. I'm going to go look at it from my ship, and then maybe it's an outpost I can get out at and like talk to merchants, but that's about it.
Well, then they have the military outpost where you can go and attack, and I don't know how that's going to work or what you get from that because it doesn't look like you ever get off.
Shooting. Yeah.
So I was thinking about, I was like, it'd be kind of cool if like you have several different areas of islands, right, that you can, you know, go to, but each of them, like maybe every week or every few days, the resources change, and you should have loot since you can have like a third person. It'd be cool to have like they do in Assassin's Creed Odyssey, where you have your raider party and you could actually customize the way some of them look, and you can choose someone to be like the head dude of the raiding party, and when you take them over there, like you've customized them, you have your guys, you look badass, and you're like ready to attack, right? I just felt like that adds a good piece of personality to something that can just be, you know, oh, we're all going to go in and attack, it's whatever, we all look like NPCs or whatever. So I think that would be cool, having to go off on these islands and actually get certain resources, like this island has purple loot this week or these many days. So everyone's going to be trying to go to this island and get the loot. It spawns every so often or whatever. You know what I mean? And
Yeah.
so like you need those resources in order to upgrade your ship, or
Right.
maybe you find some cosmetic loot, so you make you guys look more badass, or you get a really badass, cutlass or whatever.
Yeah.
So stuff like that to like give it actual meaning and like, oh, I want to go to these islands to do this. And you have to go and park your ship and go out and travel like in Sea of Thieves and actually find the stuff, and then maybe you get back and it's like, oh shit, there's a ship coming. I better run back. I can't get everything I wanted. I need to set sail so they don't blow my ship down, or I'm about to get into a battle with another ship. So
yeah, those kinds of moments were really fun in Sea of Thieves, of like those unexpected moments of like, you're trying to get going, you got the other enemy ships coming up, they're about to take you down, you got to like hurry up and get back on, or like you get off there and you find stuff you didn't expect to find. I mean, there was maybe just like another treasure chest or whatever, but at least like you discovered something new that wasn't like out in the ocean. Like one thing I was surprised here is like they don't even have like, they were talking about how like, if a ship sinks, then you're screwed. So it's like, so there's no like shipwrecks or anything in here either that you can explore. I think that'd be badass if like you destroyed a ship and you could like anchor yourself and like jump down in the water and like loot that ship and still be able to get some of that stuff back.
Right.
But then that also makes you a sitting duck because you just anchored yourself, and then somebody can come around and see you.
Yeah.
Maybe that makes you like a target that shows up on the map, that it's like a risk reward kind of situation.
Right.
They don't have that in here.
I know. So, I mean, I think there's a lot of things they could do with it, and it's just like, what kind of game is this, and what kind of gameplay is it? And yeah, I mean, they're trying to revolve around ship battles, which is, what it's supposed to be like. But I think having the aspect of taking your crew of NPCs out into the world and doing stuff, like, I think that'd be good too. Especially when you have these outposts, these guarded outposts. Like, I want to get out there and I want to fight, the British or whoever, the French are out there. Let's go to battle. And there's a risk reward with that too. It's like you're gonna anchor your ship. Maybe you can put your ship on autopilot where it like circles the island and does a few damages, like shoots a cannon here and there, but it's not as directed as if you were on there shooting it from the sea. So I just from what I've seen, it's just not. There's just so much more they could do with it, I feel like.
Yeah.
But yeah, when they switched from 3 different creative directors, I mean, what do you expect?
Yeah. I mean, visually it doesn't look bad. I mean, it's definitely not as good as I was hoping it would be, like visually. It has a dated appearance to it, but it could also be just like what the gameplay looks like on this trailer. But yeah, it's like somebody just mentioned in the comment. It's like no melee combat in a pirate game. Like that's a hard no for me.
Yeah, that's the thing.
Yeah,
I mean, it's nice that there are NPC boats that you can attack, but still,
right?
It's not.
Yeah. Well, it's like they mentioned that you can do like the trimming of like your sails and this, that, whatever to like change your. Like that was the thing that was so cool also about like Sea of Thieves, and I feel like I'm now just basically like bragging about Sea of Thieves at this point, but it's like in Sea of Thieves, it was really fun and engaging and exciting to be like, oh shit, we got like a shark coming, or we got another boat, and it's like, okay, we got to raise, we got to lower the sails, we got to twist it around. There was a lot of like teamwork and conversation, but I feel like whenever the fact that we will be split into different ships and having to like navigate the open seas as like the 3 of us get together or whatever, and it's like we're just 3 separate ships. There's not as much of that cooperation happening.
Yeah.
It's like, true. We can coordinate like, well, let's, get our ships around this bad guy or whatever, but it's not the same, I don't think. I think it's not going to be as as actively cooperative as you'd think it would be.
Yeah.
So that part kind of throws me off a little bit. But it is going to be a live service game. They're going to be updating it as time goes on. So, that's going to be happening. And you'll have environmental hazards like massive storms or NPC threats like pirate hunters. And then, of course, just the PvP mode itself you can jump into. So, I think there's a lot of cool ideas here.
Dang.
But
I like this comment. The thing that bothers me the most is the naval control steering. It feels very reactive, quick, and precise, if you know what I mean. The lack of stiffness and slower movement than what you expect from steering a large ship. Those who played AC Black Flag will know what I mean.
Yeah.
I mean, that's what we get on Sea of Thieves too. Like,
Yeah.
it's hard to steer.
Yeah. Yeah. No, I think it makes sense. I mean, I think Sea of Thieves, like, they got that control down so right. And this one feels a little bit more arcadey, you know, with the movement and control of everything. So, yeah, I feel like they didn't, I don't know. I feel like there's just something that's missing. There's
It's like half a game or something.
the magic is missing.
Yeah.
It was like Ghost Recon Breakpoint. The only reason I played that was because it was just like stupid fun to do silly stuff. And, you know, like, yeah, we'd raid bases and that was really fun. But then you could like just sometimes like go rogue into a base and just like start blowing stuff up. You might almost kill your team, but then it's like they survive and they save you. That's really cool. But I don't see those moments as much happening here.
So what does this deem itself as?
You mean like
like
genre?
an open world? What?
I don't know if they've even defined it. It's probably like just a open world, an upcoming action adventure game. So it's an action adventure game.
Okay, that has PvP features in it.
Yeah.
Okay. Interesting.
It's got PvP. Yes.
Because I see the problem with Sea of Thieves is that it's supposed to be online. You have other players in the world. But you can't put like 100 people in this one map because it'd be so overcrowded. You know, actually the map's pretty big in Sea of Thieves. But it makes sense that you wouldn't have that many people in there because you want it to feel like open ocean. And you want to see like, oh, look, there's a ship in the distance. You know? You don't want to be like every turn, oh, here's a ship, oh, here's a ship, oh, here's a ship. So it's like how many people are going to be in a server with you at one time,
right? And
how much action are you really going to be getting? And maybe you go like I can see, you know, some of these hub worlds, you have like I don't even know, like 100 people in there, right?
Yeah.
At one time, running around. It's like, but you don't see 100 people in the world.
No.
So I'm curious if it's going to be something like that.
Yeah, I think it's gonna be much. I mean, it's probably gonna be like you're connected to like 8 people at a time, maybe, or something like that.
Yeah.
But I would like to know if it's like if it changes as you navigate through and how big the world is too. Like that's another big piece of it. It's like, I mean, they made the world of Sea of Thieves pretty large, despite the fact it was still like a contained world, but it felt huge.
Oh yeah.
And I don't know if like is this one gonna feel like the size of a Ghost Recon Breakpoint map, but without like all the blot, like the mountains and stuff like that, or is it gonna be more like, I don't know, what's another map comparison of size?
AC Odyssey?
I don't know. Well, no, that's even bigger, I think.
Yeah, it's gigantic.
Yeah, like maybe it's that size. I mean, that would be good.
Right.
I mean, potentially. I don't know.
I just want to have land battles with like NPCs and stuff, trying to try to get the gold or something.
Yeah. I don't know. It's gonna be weird. It's gonna be interesting. I think it's gonna find an audience to play, but I could see this game very much going down the pathway of For Honor, where like it finds an audience, but that doesn't ever get big.
Yeah.
And just, you know, has times of struggle. And I think it might go that path. I mean, I'm excited to play it, but I feel like it's going to not be my cup of tea. Like even me and Jason were playing Roller Champions for a little bit. It was fun when we first got into it. I was like, man, this game's really cool. But then as we played a little while, I was like, it doesn't have that magic of Rocket League. And then everybody got really, really good. And it's like, okay, well, I can't play this anymore because everybody's way too good.
Right.
They don't have any like text chat options in that game. So it's like, I can't be like, hey, good job, man. You just have like stupid emotes that you unlock that don't say anything.
Yeah.
So that's the other thing too with this is like, what's communication going to be like? Like, will you have messages you can send to people, or are they just going to have, again, stupid emotes you can put up that like don't do much for you?
Do the whole dance on the ship thing and be like, yeah.
Now that is fun. That is pretty fun.
Yeah. Anyway.
Well, cool. So that's our thoughts on Skull and Bones. Comes out in November of this year. Will it be good? Will it not? Only time will tell. It will not be free on Xbox Game Pass like Sea of Thieves is, so that's a bit of a detriment. But you know, it is what it is. So if you want to get it, you either got to get the Uplay Plus Pass or buy it outright. So we'll definitely be reviewing it, I'm sure. So stay tuned to this podcast if you want to hear that review and more. And that's going to wrap it up for our topic of the show. If you want to get some merch from us, we do have merchandise you can buy on our website at theinnergamer.net. Head on over there. You can buy some gear to rep your favorite podcast. You can get some shirts. You can get some hoodies, tank tops, all the different things that you possibly want. Buy that supports us. And you can walk around and just, rep the podcast a little bit. It'd be pretty cool. We'll be right back with our upcoming video game releases, so stay tuned.